video. Today I'm showing you my last Lego creation. I've made it. Well, I'm starting to explaining this, but first let me say this thing. This is an update of my old battleship Kirishima. I transform it into another ship, maybe a better looking ship, but this is the base. Well, the base is the old Kirishima and I've made a new version of it, but this is the different ship. Well, this is the battleship Uss Virginia. It's my idea. In real life it doesn't exist. In fact, you cannot find an American battleship named Virginia. Well, yes, in real life does exist the USS Virginia, but it's not this battleship. This is my idea. But let's start to look around the ship. Let's see how I made it and all the details. Of course, starting from the bow, we can see first the classic bow of the American battleships. I've also cast on Kirishima like that, but I add an anti-aircraft gun, also can move. I add lots of details, starting from the bow. Lots and lots of details. There weren't on the Kirishima. Let's see, the guns are pretty much the same, also the same movements, the main, the secondaries. Well, that what I changed it's the main superstructure, like the American battleships with the conning tower in the classic style American, and the pole tower with on the top the aiming system. It also can move. It has also an aiming system here, an AA gun here, all the glasses here on the conning tower. I also added some lifeboats around the ship, not in the one unique point like the Kirishima. I modified the funnel, I added some extra guns, I changed place also for other anti-aircraft guns, I made some new torpedo launchers. Well, as you can see, lots of things change on this ship. Here there is another aiming system for the secondaries, and that is pretty much another ship. And we can finish with the bow, with the catapults, on the aft, sorry, with the catapults. Of course, I changed also the hull. In fact, it's one layer taller than the Kirishima. Starting maybe from here, I added the layer because here is the same height on the Kirishima. I added one layer, and so it's a little bit taller, but it's also better looking. Maybe the problem is that it's a little bit not enough large, but it's okay because American battleships were not so large. But what is the main feature? Of course, you see here I have the radio controller. I take the old Kirishima moving system on the floor and I made it the same thing on this battleship. As you can see, unfortunately, if I put it in this way, she falls on the other, so it's not like the Kirishima on this way, but it's very cool. But As you can see, the motors are the same on the Kirishima. I changed a little bit, in fact it's not so small as the Kirishima, it's a little bit bigger. Also the steering gears are the same. Also I changed place on the IR receiver, in fact it's very similar the place on the Kirishima, but it's a little bit closer on the battery box and taller, well, higher. But also I've added some wheels on the bow because this is instead of the Kirishima that was maybe some millimeter on the floor, this is a little bit higher, as you can see. This stern touches the floor, but it's not a problem. The main feature, new feature, the modifier I've applied is that even if the floor is not perfect, you can also go because it doesn't stuck on the floor. But this is the ship. Now I'm making a little voyage around my laboratory room, and well, let's go. Well, here I have the IR receiver, and now the controls are the same one of the Kirishima, so this one to go forwards and backwards, and this one is the steering. And let's start. Maybe the Kirishima was a little bit faster, but I think it was the batteries. The main feature is that this is a little bit more maneuverable. The turning circle is maybe smaller. In fact, as you can see, the maneuver are not so difficult to do. Unfortunately, I'm using only one hand to control the ship, so I'm not very skilled on it. But yes, it's very maneuverable instead of the Kirishima. I modified the steering gears, but as you can see, it's more maneuverable. Well, of course, even backwards is more maneuverable than forward, but it's only a question of the steering gears modified. The motors and the speed are pretty much the same as the Kirishima. Except of this, it's not very silent as the Kirishima, but it's obviously more silent than the Kirishima because the hull is a little bit taller from the floor, sorry, and so it doesn't make lots of noise when it goes on.
Well, before closing the video, I am gonna show you some pictures while I changed the Kirishima and made the USS Virginia. As you can see, I dismantled all the superstructure from the Kirishima, made a new deck. Of course, I restored the guns and some good details, and then I started to build the new part, the new superstructure, make the hull higher, putting the details, making the conning tower, and doing the last details. And then I finished it in something like 2 days, but it's very good, of course. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and leave like. We are gonna say that this is a remake of the old video because the ship is pretty much the same, but in something she is a new ship. In fact, I changed name and some other means like that. Well, see you on the next video. Bye bye.